guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Nastasia, and I am so flippin' excited for this video today. This is one that I've wanted to do for a while, and I just felt so motivated today to really dig in and research it, and I'm so hype right now on this topic, you don't even know. So today we're talking about how much Satan really hates women. Why? Why he hates women so much. Because sometimes I feel like as women we feel like we have a target on our back by the devil. We just can never really catch a break, and it's because we do. And I think once you understand why, it really empowers you to fight the schemes of the enemy. I can't stand it, I gotta get into it. So before I do, if you end up liking this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on a video every time I post. Okay, so I haven't kind of had this idea in the back of my head for a while. I first want to start off by recommending a book for you. It is the book Captivating by John and Stacey Eldridge. I know that I've talked about it before, but when I say this, if you've seen any of my book reviews, I very rarely give 9s or 10s for books in my rating system, but that book is a 10. That's literally, outside of the Bible, that's the best book I've ever read in my life. Especially for women or men out there. If you want to understand the heart of a woman more and understand how God created the heart of a woman, oh my gosh, it's so helpful. It taught me so much about myself. So if you're a dude out there and you're just I don't get women, I feel ya. Read this book, it'll help you out. But it is the most profound Christian book other than the Bible I've ever read. And that's where I got this idea, because it talks about how the enemy is just after women, and how much he hates us. And so that's where I got the idea of this video, but I did some research on my own and mind blown. Okay, so first I'm going to start out with the idea of who women really are, what our identity is, how God created us. So in the beginning of the Bible, in Genesis, it talks about, God creating the world, God creating, the animals and everything, and then God creating Adam. And then God sees it and says, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper for him." Takes the bone or the rib or whatever out of Adam, and then forms Eve. And so a lot of people see that, and when they're ignorant and they don't know, they're thinking, oh, man is better than woman because he made man first, so the woman was just an afterthought. No. Not to get all weird and defensive, but that's just not true. God never does anything as an afterthought, so if you've ever thought that about yourself as a woman, you're wrong. In the most kind way I can say this, you are wrong, because you are loved way more than that. Imagine the fact that God looked at everything in the world, everything he had created, including Adam, and it wasn't finished yet without you. It wasn't finished yet without Eve. It wasn't finished yet without woman. God doesn't make mistakes. He could have just left it, but he couldn't have just left it because it wasn't done yet. So just know that. And where we are starting is with the idea of the helper. So in the Bible it actually says helpmate for Adam, because it is not good for man to be alone. And also I'll be putting the verses all right here, as I keep talking about this. But it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper or a helpmate for him. So the original Greek word for that word helper or helpmate is actually the word Azer Megiddo, spelled like this. The word Azer is a combination of two root meanings. So basically the E and the Z and stuff, they all mean different things, because the ancient Greek language is very different than the English language. So the word Azer has two root meaning. First root meaning is to rescue or to save. And then the second root meaning is to be strong. So the word for Azer actually means to rescue, to save, and to be strong. That's the helper that God was making. And I think it just shows that our word for helper is so insignificant compared to what God actually meant, what God actually said with the word Azer. If you change the words of what it actually means, it said, when he saw Adam, he said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a lifesaver for him. I will make somebody with strength for him. I will make a rescuer for him. Like, does that not change everything? Like, literally ever? And you can look this up on your own too. Just look up the word Azer or Azer Megiddo, and you'll see a bunch of articles pop up. I did my research on this and clicked a bunch to make sure, but I read this in that book, Captivating, and I also read it in these articles. First of all, that's your identity, so take that. Put a pin in that. Put it on your wall, put it on your phone, put it on everything that you ever see as a lifesaver, a rescuer, and strength. And when I say that, I don't mean that you are the only thing this world revolves around. I mean that you are that because you reflect the glory of God. Like, God is through you, the rescuer, the lifesaver, the strength of mankind. Like, that's incredible. Men have different strengths and weaknesses. We have different strengths and weaknesses. And the thing is, that's why God made us, because Adam couldn't do it all. He needed us too. But if it would have been us first, we couldn't do it all either. He would have made Adam. That's why, because we both need to be here. But anyway, going on, keep that in your mind because that does make sense for then the rest of this about why Satan hates us. A little backstory on Satan. He was an angel of God originally, before the fall. So time-wise, this is a little debated of when this happened, time span of creation and all that. In the Bible, it does say in multiple places that he was the angel of light. Like, God created him as one of the most beautiful angels, one of the highest angels. He was sitting on the holy hill, all these things, like, or the mountain of holiness or something like that. Like, God created Satan as, well, he was actually Lucifer, as an angel. So he was originally a beautiful, stunningly gorgeous angel of light. He was originally I believe the angel of dawn. So he was supposed to encompass light, encompass newness, and all of this stuff. So Lucifer, as the angel, got really haughty, and he was too arrogant, he was too proud, and he had the capacity to choose to go against God, and so he did, because he wanted more power. He didn't want God to have all the power. In Isaiah 14:12 it says, "How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations." So that's literally the son of dawn, O morning star. Like, that was him as an angel. So, think about that. Satan, when he was an angel, represented beauty, he represented light, he represented strength and power, and newness. So, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but women were literally created as, one, Azer. So they were created to be strong, life-giving. They were created to be beautiful. They were created to create new things through life, through birth. No coincidence that in the garden, Satan went after Eve, not Adam first. I personally believe it was because he was so angry that something so beautiful was created after he was, cast down to hell. I believe, because I truly believe that part of the reason God created us was to be beautiful, and that doesn't just mean, like, oh, our eyelashes look perfect or something like that, but we encompass the beauty of God. And men encompass other things, but we encompass the beauty of God in, physical ways, but also in, our compassion and our love. Not saying men can't be that, but I'm just talking about women. Like, we are nurturers and we are all that. And so imagine being Satan, being cast down from above, being the most beautiful angel, and then God creates this woman who is strength and beauty and all of the things that Satan can never be again. Like, duh, he's going to be angry at us. Duh, he's going to go for Eve in the garden. He wants to mess her up. When she sins, obviously, then, crap hits the fan and all the things. But I find it very interesting that the same person, Eve, who sinned and was deceived by the life taker, Satan, was also the same person, Eve, that is Azer, the life giver, the rescuer, the life saver. God already knew. God literally already knew everything. Why would he have made Azer, Eve, the life giver, the life saver, the life rescuer, when Satan was going to already take away life from them? He was going to be the life taker. And God already made, like, checkmate. Like, I made Azer. She is not going to be taken over by you. She gives life. Like, can we just for a second, like, this is just another verse talking about Satan. Ezekiel 28:17, it says, "Your heart was proud because of your beauty. You corrupted your wisdom for the sake of your splendor. I cast you to the ground." So then God makes something splendid, a woman. He also, and I don't want to take away from the fact that Adam and men in general are also beautiful and are also the splendor of God. Satan hates everybody. I'm just pointing out women specifically, but of course he's going to hate us because of this. I want to read another verse. It is Luke 11:34-35. It says, "Your light is the lamp of your body. When your eyes are healthy, your whole body is also full of light. But when they are unhealthy, your body also is full of darkness. See to it then that the light within you is not darkness." And 2 Corinthians 11:14 says, "And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." Because he once was an angel of light and he isn't anymore. But then in Luke, it's talking about how we have the light within us. The eye is the lamp to our body. Like, we are full of light because of Jesus Christ. We are full of light because of God. And Satan can never be that again. And for that verse in specific, like, that applies to everybody, men and women. But just like, of course he hates us. And I also wanted to point out in Genesis 3:14, it says, "The Lord God said to the serpent," so this was after Satan had deceived Eve and made her sin, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and above all beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life." 15 says, "I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." That is literally saying in verse 15 that he will put enmity between you and the woman, like between Satan and women. Like right there, like the Bible literally says, Satan's gonna hate you, like, so much, forever. There will also be strife between Satan and the woman's offspring, but that the offspring shall bruise your head and you shall bruise his heel. So that is pointing out the fact that, yeah, maybe Satan will get to your heel, maybe he'll bite at your heels, but you will crush his head. So, like, again, it points out, one that's pointing to the story of Jesus, that woman is going to give birth to a king that will crush the head of Satan and defeat death for all time. But in general, it's also talking about the fact that women give life. Offspring that she creates are going to fight against the evil of the enemy. Like, he doesn't win here. He is death. Like, he is death, and you are over here creating more life. And all he wants is death. Like, obviously, he's gonna hate you so much more. Like, it just shows that that is something men will not have in common with women. Men do not give birth, and men do not, nurture and breastfeed and all that. Like, all of that is on purpose because God created us as life givers. That is us reflecting his glory as the ultimate life giver through us as women. We give life. Satan, all he wants to do is take life away. And as fast as he's taking it away, we are even faster creating more life. And the last thing I'm going to put in this video, which blew my mind, I saved for the end because it is my favorite part. The other places in the Bible where the word Azer Megiddo, or even just the word Azer, is used, other than talking about women, drumroll, it's talking about God. Like, how incredible is that? I will put some verses right here where it is talking about it, but all through the Old Testament especially, it talks about the glory of God, the strength of God, God rescuing, and every single time in the, like, ancient writings, in the ancient text, it uses the Greek word Azer to represent God. Like, oh my goodness. We are pure reflections. I'm not saying we are God. That's not what I'm saying. But, like, how does that not empower you as a woman? Like, you are made with a purpose. You are made to be the same kind of glory and strength as God if you let him live through you. That's insane! Like, we will never, until we are in heaven with our Father, like, be able to be perfect, be able to be as strong as we could be, and all that stuff, because of sin, because of the fall, because we are fallen. But isn't it incredible to know that God was like, I want you to represent my strength. I want you to represent my nurturing nature, my life-giving, my compassion, my love. I want you to be the beauty that represents me. I want to reflect myself through you so that all the glory goes back to me. How does I could like laugh and cry thinking about that, because as a woman, I'm not going to do like the whole sob story thing of like, I've had a pretty great life as a woman, honestly. Like, I'm not living in a third world country or something. But like, it is hard as a woman to just in your own head have confidence, to feel like you have a purpose, to feel like, you know, you are worth something, because the schemes of the devil are so great against us. But just know the reason they're so great against us is because he is freaking scared of you, girl. Like, he is scared of you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so hyped. I don't even care how long this video is. I'm so excited. I hope you watch the whole thing, because it blows my mind learning about it. So I can definitely do a part 2 to this. I'm sure there's so much more I can research. Probably one of my favorite videos and topics I've ever filmed, so I hope you guys loved it too. Please leave your comments down below, and if this blew your mind the way it blew mine. But I love you guys so much, and I hope this empowered you and gave you a little confidence today. I will see you guys next time. Bye!